Bro, I hate vlogging. I hate vlogging.
What's up, man?
Man, I hate vlogging.
Hey, don't be.
Right.
It's your boy, Drill Sergeant Lynch up in the building. SFAM, what's up? I'm up here with Sergeant Esco, Half Right Face Productions. Y'all know how we do. Get motivated up in here one time, man. You good?
That's a good intro.
Hey.
All right, hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. On this video, I got a very special guest, another military YouTuber, and we're both stationed on Fort Leonard Wood. And this is the first time that we got together to do a video collab, man. And
it's crazy.
It's like, yeah. Anyway, boys, you want to give a shout out to SFAM again?
Let's give it up. SFAM, what's up? Stay focused and motivated. It's Drill Sergeant Lynch. I'm up in here with Half Right Face Production, man. This is it's amazing. I want to thank you, first of all, man, for...
Oh, where's the shirt? Show him the shirt.
Hey, so look.
Here's the Half Right Face Production swag.
He's hooking it up. He's hooking it up, y'all. Y'all get ready. Should be coming soon, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. But I got to thank you, man, because you're making me feel like a big-time, big guy. He hit me up and he wanted to do a collaboration, wanted to do an interview, so... I think it's awesome. I'm down for it. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go.
Man, so, man, I remember when your channel first started.
Yeah.
Like, when you started doing all the kind of army vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of your very first videos of you driving out in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about you, man. One day I'm gonna be a drill sergeant there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started following you when you're at the academy even more, kind of, putting comments and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But so, what is going on with you right now? Like, how's your channel doing? Like, are you still on the trail, or what's up? Are you sticking around Fort Leonard Wood? Or, what's kind of give us a sip rep?
Okay, so I'm still on the trail right now. I only have about 10, 11 months on the trail, so I still have a little bit more than a year left to go. I think everything's going good. I'm currently in SLC, so I got a little bit of a break from the trail. I'm chilling out, doing my thing. But my page is doing pretty good, man. I'm getting ready to hit 5,000 subscribers. I think that's tight. I know it's a little small time, but I'm still happy. I'm content with it, man. So we're just rocking it.
So how does it feel like when you walk around and people like kind of recognize you, like?
So
hey, I know you. You know what I mean? Like,
at first when it first started happening, it was kind of weird. I was a little bit embarrassed. But I think I'm starting to get used to it more and more, and I don't know, man. It's just crazy because, especially with me being on the trail, I'm always catching other drill sergeants. Hey, man, I know you. I seen you on YouTube. But my biggest thing is, did the videos help? Did the videos help?
Yeah.
That's my main. As long as the videos helped out, and everybody, they helped me out. I was so nervous. But as I watched your videos, I got more and more calm. And that's all I wanted to do was help out anybody who is, specifically drill sergeants at first.
Mm-hmm.
But I started noticing that soldiers, people who wanted to join the army, they starting to come onto the page too. So as long as I'm helping them out, if I can help somebody, that's good. That's all I'm really aiming for.
You know what? So I got you here, and I got some questions, right?
Okay.
And these were some questions like from one military YouTuber from one to another, right? Like,
okay.
Since we're already on the topic of the comments, right? How do you deal with like all the the negative? Like, you can post a video that through your eyes is a great video,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But there's always like those internet trolls,
Mm-hmm.
the negative comments or the dislikes. Like, how do you deal with that?
So I think this took a while for me to get used to, man. It took a while because the first thing I wanted to do is start defending, you know what I'm saying? But you got to think about it, though, still. Somebody's not going to like what you're doing. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like what you do. But, as long as you're not doing anything that's going to hurt anybody, as long as it's not wrong or nothing like that, then you don't worry about if somebody doesn't like what you're doing. They're going to have their negative comments. Everybody's inside, especially social media. Everybody's going to want to say something.
Yeah.
So, I let them say what they want to say. And if it's something that's really gets to me, sometimes I might delete a comment or something like that. And it's funny because sometimes they delete their own comments.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I just take it with a grain of salt. I try to, you know, as much as possible. If somebody has something negative to say, depending on how they say it, I take it into consideration. But if it's something totally negative, like if they're calling me out my name, I either won't comment or I'll just delete it.
Yeah, you know what, man? There's some comments that I get that it's like, you know, they're saying something kind of negative, and I want to engage it, but I'll give it a heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what I do when I read the comments. To say that I read the comments, I just heart everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, you know, sometimes it could be frustrating. Like, you know, it could be a great video and there's dislikes. I'm like, what is there to dislike?
Mm-hmm. Somebody's not gonna like something, man. So it is what it is.
Man, what are some of the challenges that you've had to kind of face as a military YouTuber?
So the main thing as a military YouTuber is just making sure, because the Army's gonna have their standards. Mm-hmm. They got their standards on what they want, you know, what they don't want to depict as unprofessional or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So I think that's my biggest thing, man, just learning what they want and kind of confirming to it. At the same time, with me being a drill sergeant, it's hard to do it actually as much as I want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I could, I'd do it every day, but I just can't. And I can't get certain footage that I want to get and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. Those are just a few of them. But like I said, man, I just try to roll with it.
And so your channel is Drill Sergeant Lynch, right?
Yep.
And I'm gonna put a link in the description box below for you, so you can go check it out. And you gotta check out this guy's channel, day to day, you know, Army vlogs, what happens, you know, him telling stories about being a drill sergeant, dealing with trainees on the trail. But you gotta go check out his channel.
Check me out, man. Check me out.
Let me see. So I know you had your up and downs on your channel, kind of like a roller coaster ride. If there's another military YouTuber they kind of started their channel or they're thinking about it, like what kind of advice would you give them?
My first advice is if you wanna do it, the first step you gotta do is just do it. Just go in at it. You might think that you're not good at doing it or whatever the case may be, but I think as you go along with it, you know, you'll start figuring out more of what you want to do and how you want your page to be. So then you can start, you know, just rolling with it and kind of transforming as you go along. Yeah. That's what I would say, man. And, you know, do your research on all the equipment that you want to get and all that good stuff. You don't need much, though. If you got a laptop with a camera on it and or maybe a little microphone or something, that's it. You don't really need much. So if you want to do it, you want to go for it, just go for it. But just kind of be careful about some of the stuff you put out, you know.
And be yourself.
There you go.
Be yourself. You can't be any more genuine than being yourself,
there
right?
You go.
The more you know.
Yep.
Bro, man, so and then we have been talking about doing this video for a while now. We finally got together and did it. And before you came over, I was nervous.
I don't know
like,
why.
I was there because I was like, man, I'm getting nervous because you were sending me all these texts on the hey Sarney, are you still down for this? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm getting nervous, man.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't like leading you on or nothing. I wanted you to know that I was down and I was ready. But as long as the time is right, you're.
And we live right down the street from each other.
We just found this out. Like I drove up here like a minute and a half right up the street, man. It's so crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah. So, and if you're subscribed to my channel and also to his, hey, put it in the comments below. You know, we always like to hear feedback.
Definitely.
But it is pretty challenging to be a military YouTuber from time to time. And I know one of my challenges is, you know, I'm so busy with work and I want to put more content out. Or even do videos on this or that, but we just don't have the time because being in the Army, it's not a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Or even, you know, Monday through Friday sometimes. Just doesn't work out that way.
Yep.
But, you know, we'll get to it sometime. And so, military YouTubers, right? Do you have any favorite military YouTubers?
So, I definitely have been watching some of your stuff. I've been watching your stuff for a while, and I didn't. It was just crazy when I'm watching your stuff, and then you hit me up. I find out that you're here, but I watch your stuff. Erica Burney, crazy story about her. So while I was at school, while I was at the academy, and we had to do a UA, and I remember I think I was talking to my battle buddy behind me because we were standing in line getting ready to go. And she tells me, hey, Sergeant, she's like, you know, you need to shut up and get in line. And like, I don't know, something felt weird about looking when I seen her. And I realized that Erica Burney's spouse was one of the drill sergeant leaders.
Oh, yeah.
So it was so crazy. Yeah. But definitely Erica Burney, Bully Juice, I watch him. Nava the Beast, I watch him from time to time.
He's getting ready to... I think he's getting out.
He's getting out of the Marines.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's one of the challenges. And you're gonna go through this too, right? Because all of your stuff right now is kind of drill sergeant related. So when you're done with the trail, it's like, or when you're done with the Army, like, where does your channel go?
Yep.
Like, it's just, you're gonna have to evolve somehow. But Erica Burney, I met Erica Burney when she was here.
That's crazy.
I ran into her at the MSCO, like the big building on post, and we talked for a little bit.
If you're still trying to do something, Erica, holla at your boys. We still here. We here.
Yeah. And you know what? I remember when your channel first started, I'm not hating, right? I had more subscribers than you.
Yeah.
But, you know, I keep track on a lot of military YouTubers, right? And there was a point where your channel just like took off, man. It just like, I don't know what happened. Like, it just bam overnight. It just blew up.
I think that night I had like 500 or 600 subscribers, and I remember within like a day and a half it had bounced up to like 1,000. It was a day and a half.
Man,
I don't know what did it. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. I just thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And you're getting up there too. I know you're in that 1K, almost at the 2K now.
Yeah, I'm
you're getting up there.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
But one of my subscribers I like, and we talked about it before, but I don't think you know him. It's Ben Allen. Ben Allen. I just did a collab video with him. It's not posted yet, but man, this guy, he's got a lot of. He's very well spoken. A lot of charisma. He covers a lot of. He's like a medic at Fort Bliss.
Okay.
But you got to check out his channel, Ben Allen, and yeah, he's just super cool. And you know what? He's getting out.
Okay.
He's getting out, and I think he's clearing right now. So I don't know what's gonna, you know, he's just gonna have to get over that hump or whatever.
Do you watch just Drew Vlogs? Do you watch him? You got Drew Vlogs. He's an MP. He got out.
I think so.
There's Drew Vlogs. He's kind of funny, but so what I think he's doing is he's starting to like go and deploy. You know how like civilians they'll go work in like Afghanistan for a little while and then they come back.
Oh yeah.
Like I think he's a contractor, so I watch him. I also check out Yusha Thomas. I watch him. He's funny.
Yeah.
So there's a few
combat vet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Combat vet. You know what are your favorite? What are your favorite military YouTubers? Put them in the comments below. But these are just some of them. I think we pretty kind of. Oh, there's Alan Ward. I don't know if you heard of. Is his name? Yeah, Alan Ward.
I've checked. Who else? Team Schwartz. That's a recruiter.
Yeah, he's kind of new. He's kind of new, but he's getting up there.
I think his videos. It's crazy. His videos are pretty official. Like he's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I like him.
Have you ever heard of Archie?
I heard of Archie before too.
And so Archie, I think he was noticed by Big Army because when he puts out content, it's on the U.S. Army's channel.
Okay.
So, but
that's nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. It's just so weird. So you're still on the trail as a drill sergeant, right?
Still on the trail.
Right. Still. Let me see. Are there any memorable moments from you, from a trail that you know that are just gonna stick with you forever?
While my time on the trail.
Yeah.
So the thing I like so there's always those trainees. There's always those couple trainees that there's something noticeable about them. that I don't think you'll ever forget. So there was this one guy, and his voice, he was so passionate about being successful as a trainee. And when you get him to be motivated and he gets that voice, there's this one, I don't want to say any names, but there's one trainee who had the crazy voice sometimes. I'll never forget the trainee who brought the tuna sandwich into the barracks, and we had to get him. We had to give him the training, the corrective training on that. But there's all kinds of stuff.
Tuna sandwich.
He brought in a tuna sandwich from the DFAT, and he just left it laying on his pillow while he was laying down one night. And I was just going to check rooms, and I seen him like, what the hell is that you have on your pillow? It's a sandwich, drill sergeant. I'm like, nope. Had to get him.
Bro, there was this one time when I was on CQ, right? I doing head count, right? And it was lights out. All the privates were asleep. And I remember as I'm counting, right, one private stood up like Undertaker. He just stood up and then went back to sleep. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the fire guards that are with me. I'm like, and they're like, he does that all the time, Joe Sarn. And I'm like, man, it's just crazy stuff you see on the trail, man. Dealing with so many different kids.
You're gonna catch all kinds of people from all over.
Yeah.
All kinds of trainees. I had a situation like that too. There was a trainee who got up. It was 2300, and I was just going to check. And he was up going to his locker. I'm like, what are you doing up right now? Drill sergeant, I'm getting ready for formation. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's 11 o'clock at night. Get back in bed, trainee. Yes, drill sergeant. Who told him to get ready for...
And you know what? There's always the same training that, like, there's always one country guy, real country time lemonade. There's always like one real old private, like 38-year-old private.
Yep.
Like it's man, I can't think of any more, but man, it was this so many. Oh, do you know why they call it the trail?
I was told at one point in time why, but all I know is because I know we were doing land nav one day, and we were out there, and it was like a trail. So that's what I've always got from it.
Oh.
What do you get from it?
What I got from it was so when you are a drill sergeant, right, and you start working, we call that working the trail. And from what I understand it was back in the old days when people used to like herd cattle.
Mm-hmm.
They used to, from one place to another, they use trails.
Okay.
And when you got a whole class of 210 or 240 trainees or privates, it kind of relates to that term.
Okay.
Just moving them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let me see. Anything else from being a drill? You got any takeaways? Like what's a pretty good takeaway from being a drill sergeant?
So something that once you like get off the trail that you can keep with you for the rest of your time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know, man. So I just feel like being a drill sergeant is, to me, being a drill sergeant is like a high position. It's a high stature position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just teaches me about being prideful at what you do, and being professional. So I don't know. There's just something about the discipline that the drill sergeants portray to have. I think that's a good thing to take with you for the rest of your time, like in the Army. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like. What do you think would be a good takeaway?
Bro, I think like the biggest takeaway of being a drill is learning how to plan stuff.
Okay, I got you.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, because there's certain MOSs that, they don't really go to the field, like, engineers or MPs or infantry, right? And for them to, know how to plan a ruck, know how to plan movement for field training exercise, or just a simple APFT for a whole company. You know what I mean? Knowing what comes with all those things, and then being a drill man, learning how to plan down to the minute.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Chow,
Yep.
hygiene, trans, like everything's down to the minute on stuff, man. That was the biggest takeaway. Yeah, and I think it would really help those young E5 sergeants too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That they're probably liking some of that stuff. They would love that.
I can tell you what though, man. Me being a drill sergeant and seeing how all the planning and stuff is done,
Yeah.
it never occurred to me before I even came on the trail. It never occurred to me like all that planning needed to take place. I didn't think that my company did that much planning before I came to be a drill sergeant. You know, it's weird, it's crazy, but.
What advice? If there was a sergeant right now that was like, he was at that point in his career, like, I don't know, I'm thinking about being a drill sergeant, but I don't know if I should do a volunteer packet or whatever. Like, what advice would you give them?
I would not volunteer to be a drill sergeant unless you really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I could tell you, man.
Yeah.
If you're not sure if you want to be a drill sergeant,
I thought you were gonna say run.
hey, man. But if you're not sure, I wouldn't do it. Don't volunteer unless you know that that's what you want to do, because you catch so many people. I've been to the academy and there's so many people. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like your time on the trail, your time as a drill sergeant is gonna be that much harder because you don't want to do it. You know, you have to. You got to find something that you like about it and freaking feed off of that, because you're gonna have to go for 2 years. So that's my thing, man. Don't do it unless you want to. I'm not gonna say run.
Bro, if they were already on orders, right, and they're just waiting to go, right? What advice would you give them?
And they don't want to?
No. Just what advice would you give them, right? If they're already on their way to the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy.
He said it.
Like, what advice would you?
Just get ready for the rude awakening. Expect
What was the top 3?
The top 3 was the position of attention.
Yeah, top 3.
The rest positions at the halt, and the hand salute. So definitely learn those.
Oh my God, modules.
Yup. Learn those and know how to give a good PRT session of the SM and the EM.
Yeah.
You know, make sure you know how to do a good PT session, lead a good PT session. I think if you know the top 3 and can do PT before you go to drill sergeant school, I think you'll be fine, because they're going to give you time to study and stuff. So
yeah, and there's also a drill sergeant portal website now.
Okay.
And it's backed by the CAT card.
Okay.
So you go to Fort Jackson's website and then you click on it and you log in with your CAT card. And it's a portal that's there, and it's so much information that's on there, right? Everything that you need to kind of square your way and set you up for success if you're thinking about going or if you're on orders to this tough assignment. But it was rough. It was rough when I went to the academy. Just staying up all night, drinking energy drinks, studying modules. Like, it was pretty crazy, man.
I think Starbucks became one of my best friends during my time on the trail. I love going to Starbucks.
Hey, was there a bunch of people like walking around with the green, just like talking to themselves
all the time, walking around the track, walking around the track, just walking back and forth, reading and talking to themselves, and it looked so funny, man. But
because what we're doing is we're memorizing modules. That's what it is. Because when you pitch your module, it's got to be damn near like verbatim.
Yep.
But oh my God, the module book.
And yours had changed because you had the little green book, didn't you, when you went?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they changed, and now we got a handbook of different It's not the green anymore, and they switched up. So they update that freaking book all the time, man.
Yeah.
And it just keeps updating. So I don't know. You got to be ready for them changes. Be ready. That's how you do it.
Man. All right. So enough with the drill sergeant stuff, right? Have you seen the new Army Combat Fitness is?
I've seen some people conducting it, and I've looked up a little bit of it online.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, man?
Bro, I mean, it's tough, man. You know what I mean? It looks like it's gonna be a little beast, man. It just looks like to me where you got to hit the gym. Like, you can't just do push-ups and sit-ups and run. Like, you got to hit the gym to do stuff for all the events and the combat fitness tests.
So I think initially a lot of people were worried about like the run because you're doing all this stuff. You're doing a bunch of freaking, and then at the end, you got to still do the 2 mile run. But they got that sled drag where you got to, you know what I'm saying, like working your legs after a while. I know your legs are gonna be burning, and then you still got to do that run. But somebody had told me that it's not actually that bad though, man. It's not that bad. Now my thing is because we're used to doing 3 events. Now this ACFT is it's like 6 or 7 different events that you got, and you got to do a whole company. Like that's gonna take a long time throughout your day. It doesn't just take a few hours anymore, like 2 hours. It's gonna take a while. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
But I like Thanos.
Yeah.
With all 6 events, I could snap my fingers, and half the army would disappear. I call that mercy. That new PT test is gonna be a beast, man. I'm telling you. Man, but you know what? That's kind of covered all the questions. I don't even know what else to talk about, man.
I'm just glad to be here. I'm just having a good time, man.
Yeah, you know what? We should probably get together and do something else, like do a hike or you know what? Do a video like that.
I'm down, man. I'm down. I know you like to go hiking and stuff like that, so.
Oh, I know all the great spots on Fort Leonard Wood. Yeah, Missouri's got a lot of great spots for hiking, man.
Okay. Yeah, just get with me, man, and we'll get up. I live right down the street, so.
Man, that's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I don't know what else, man. I guess we'll just wrap it up.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up.
That's what it is, man.
So really quick video with this guy. And talking about his channel, all kinds of stuff, just hanging out. But I'm sure we'll have other video, us talking together, collabs.
We'll get together, man.
In the future, yeah. But anyway, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If not, then go ahead, dislike it.
It is what it is. You'll like it, though. You're going to like it. You're going to like it.
But anyway, I'm going to see y'all guys later. Yeah, I'm going to edit this now.
SFAM salute. Y'all stay focused and motivated. Half Right Productions in the building. Y'all know how we got to do. Y'all have an awesome day.
See y'all later. Bye. Damn.